The path this show is going down no longer contains Joel, Miller, and boy, are they showing it. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3. This one was called The Path, but to be honest, no paths lead to Joel. He's dead, they've took him out the intro, and they've done a 3-month time skip to basically make his death feel irrelevant, make it feel less impactful. Honestly, to some degree, it almost feels like he's not even dead. Almost feels like he's not even there.
Did it even happen? Is the real question. And you look at it and it's like, I think the most impactful deaths across TV shows and movies are, what actually makes them is the actual reaction themselves, like not the death scene.
Yeah, look,
but Tommy was beside his body and Ellie screamed in a hospital, but that lasted 10 seconds. Where's the retaliation fight? Or who the fuck done it? You know, the tears,
For example, look at Rick when Laurie died.
Yeah.
Guy spiraled out of control. They didn't do a 3-month time skip.
No.
You got to see his reaction and how he started to lose it in The Walking Dead after Laurie's death. In this show, we just get a 3-month time skip. So, and again, to me, it's just lazy. You don't get to see the actual reaction to Joel's death. You don't get to see Tommy with they're dragging him. Like, I would just like to see shows actually show more stuff that happens rather than just for it to all happen behind screen, because that's easy to do that. You know, it's easy just to go 3 months later. How about we get to see them bring Joel's body back to Jackson? We get to see Tommy's original outburst, his original emotional, display after seeing his dead brother. But you rob us of that by doing a 3-month time. I think they've done this horribly.
No, they've done it horribly. And another thing is, we're not talking about a guy that's like the 5th or the 4th biggest character. We're talking about the guy, like the main character. I mean, if this isn't a fucking time to show people's reaction to the main character dying, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, I can't think of another TV show where the main character died. Well, it doesn't often happen, but like then they just do a time skip and it's almost forgotten about.
Yeah, it's like the only way it works for me if it's like the ending shot, and pretty much every TV show kind of ends with like the main character being killed. So you don't really get that aftermath, but on the rare occasion you do get it like this. You should see the aftermath. And 3 months later, man, emotions aren't the same. Like, I'm not saying you can't be pissed off, right? And hell, it might have took them 3 months to get to Seattle, even if they set off the day after he died, but it just feels flat. Tommy, here, maybe he cared when he first found out, but seeing this episode, after the 3 months, you wouldn't have thought he gave 2 shits.
No, you wouldn't have. So we begin with Ellie. She's like in the infirmary, I guess. I don't know, mending up, healing. Been in here for 3 months. Why? Don't even know that. She got punched and kicked a couple of times.
Yeah, I didn't get this.
Why has she been out of action for 3 months? Don't quite understand why. Then the psychiatrist comes in and wants to speak with her, and I almost felt like she was gloating, because we know this person hates Joel. It's like, why the fuck would Ellie want to open up to this person about how she's feeling with Joel, when we've seen how this woman reacted to Joel? I would have told her. But even then...
No, but how woke, sis? It's almost like every patient that's in this hospital wing needs to see the psychiatrist.
Yeah, before you can leave. Like, it's you're being forced to see this. It's like, fuck off. Like, in the real world, it'd be like, right, I'm up. I'm good. I'm going to go and kill Abby and all her friends. See you later.
Yep.
But no, Ellie's not allowed to do that for whatever reason, so she gets up, she sees Dina. Dina then gives her some cookies and says that you're basically the cookies are like an apology, because she reveals that she knows the names and she knows like where they're from. And Ellie, I mean, you thought she was going to be like super upset over this, but I mean, she kind of wasn't. She understood Dina's reasoning, thinking that she should wait till they get there and then wait till Ellie's actually out so she can do stuff. But to me, Dana should have been giving this information to Tommy on day fucking 1 of the return.
Yeah, and the way she's like, oh, I haven't told anyone else. It's like, realistically, there's only 2 people you should have fucking told with this information.
You know, I'm not saying you can't tell Ellie first, because her and Joel, obviously, not in the fucking show, because not that Joel and Tommy have a great bond in the show either, like, but, you know, I can understand one of those two, right, being the first person you tell, but if you can't tell Ellie for 3 months, then that doesn't mean you wait fucking 3 months to tell her, then tell Tommy.
Yeah.
Dina could have told Tommy, and then they could have still did the same plan, and 3 months later told Ellie. So then Ellie goes to Tommy with this information, and she's like, I thought you'd want to get revenge, and he's like, I do, but, you know, Jackson, this community needs us, the walls are weak, we were raided, even though that was 3 months ago, wasn't it? He said, we suffered loss, this and that, and it's like, Tommy, grow a backbone. Who gives a fuck about who you lost? At the end of the day, your brother was brutally like murdered and tortured here, and you ain't doing nothing about it. Then he says, I need to speak with Maria first.
And also,
she's the one that
but Abby's the fucking, I know they don't know this, but Abby's the one that set that fucking horde on Jackson. Phil, what the fuck you call it? I know they don't know that, but it's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, why are we pretending that Joel was like this guy that did nothing? He was like fucking one of the top guys. He was like top engineer.
Yeah, so he's like, well, we need to take this to Maria. It's like, do we really?
No, this should be a case of, here, no matter what, Ellie,
we're going,
but I'm going to see if we can get more manpower, kind of thing. But no, he's see if he, like, I think we get the vote, right? We may as well address it, so.
Well, we get a scene where Ellie's training, punching with, what's his name? Jesse. Who I think's one of the least annoying new characters I've added, but he doesn't have that much about him. I mean, he seems to have a couple of one-liners or whatever, and he seems to be capable of a wee bit.
He seems down and depressed. I don't blame him. Like
he does. I mean, he seems to have like some decent comebacks, like from a comedy element. But yeah, a guy seems like he's just waiting to be killed off almost.
Guy with muscles and straight, fuck him.
Yeah.
We don't want him.
Well, the guy, he certainly couldn't be white, you know, they had to at least make him Asian, but that's like the next step down. I'm surprised he's not black. But, so he's training and he's saying, you're almost back to 80%, which is, 20% less than what you should have been in the beginning. She's like, fuck you. Then she says, I hear you're on the council now. Are you going to have my back? Are you going to vote for me? And he says that he can't reveal any votes of the council, so he's not allowed to say, but he does give her advice to, write down what she wants to tell the council rather than just have this like angry outburst. And we see later next day when they have that council meeting, she has wrote it down. And you know what, to me, you could argue that she was only saying this in order to try and get Maria and the rest of the council members to vote on getting revenge here. But even she said it wasn't revenge, she called it justice. But it was very fucking cringe, and I don't think there's any way you could mean this. She's talking about getting justice, but not for her, not for Joel. Says for this community. Anybody that gets attacked, like Joel did, I'll get justice for you. And it's like, I mean, let's be honest. Why are we pretending that we care about all 500 people in Jackson the same? We don't. People are liars, man. I don't give a shit, right? You could be part of a community or whatever, a settlement, and you could genuinely care about everyone there, but you won't care about everyone the same.
No.
It's like somebody could come in and murder and torture somebody that you knew, and you'd be angry, and you would be for getting revenge, and be like, I'll vote for that. I'm in the right. You could be wanting to get revenge for them, 100%. But then they could come in and they could murder like your family member or your closest friend or whatever, your wife, and then it's not that you're like wanting to get. You need to get revenge. There's a difference here.
No, there is a difference, and I mean, I know what they were going for. She doesn't really do speeches and write things down, so, but it was just so lackluster. It's like, see if this was like a 5-minute passionate fucking speech about why we need to do this.
It's like back to The Walking Dead, right? Look at Rick. Rick cared about a lot of members of his group. See when like Dale died, Rick was sad.
Yep.
But look at the difference between when Dale died and when his wife died.
Big difference.
And that's the way, but Ellie here's making it, oh no, and then we get, what's the guy's name?
Seth?
Seth, yeah. Seth stands up and he basically, I mean, he can't use the words because the show's woke, but he basically called them all pussies, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he basically called them
Like
all
the guy
cowards.
before was like a Carlisle or something. He was like, oh, yeah, we should get revenge for him, but I'm not Christian. We shouldn't do that. That makes us no better than those outside the walls. We need to. And then the woman before was like, we can't afford to risk 16 good men for Joel. A lot of other people died as
I've
well.
got kids here and we need to keep these walls safe. It's all just like selfish bullshit. So then Ellie makes her
Oh,
point.
no, actually, hold on. Dina would know that Abby, her and Joel saved Abby from that big horde. And maybe like, well, maybe that was used as a distraction ploy or something. Fucking you could have. You know what? Ellie and fucking Dina could have easily have manipulated this and said they brought the horde in order to get more people on board. If you actually think of it and break it down, not that they should need to, by the way, because Joel is Joel Miller and they should be fucking champing at the bit to get revenge from him. But you see Seth buried him, and you know what? This guy's probably the one guy in the group who could have a beef with Joel and fucking Ellie. But it shows you.
I don't think Abby did bring the horde. Was it not? I know it's different. They've changed it in the show from the game because it doesn't work the same. But is it not like the cordyceps or whatever? Was it not that guy breaking into the pipes? Because remember they said in episode 2 of this first season, if you touch it, it's like it's like a spider's web kind of thing where if you touch it. So I think that guy actually hammering into the pipes, he was the one that caused the infected horde to actually like rise and attack Abby. I don't think it was Abby that set that off. But I could be wrong.
No, I think you could be right, but Abby is the one that led them after her towards Jacksonville.
No, but they would have went that way anyway. I think they just went after her initially because they seen her.
Point is, though, I do think Dina and Ellie could have manipulated the folk that way.
Well, anyway, Ellie comes across as, wanting to do this for the good of Jackson, and she acted, pretty reasonable, even though it seems like a sellout. But she said pretty much everything that you'd imagine the people on the council and the people of Jackson would want to hear.
To get a vote on board?
Yeah, and originally, so they handed in the votes. I thought there were 16 people in the council.
It was 11.
But there was only 11, so I don't know.
Which means it's good.
Oh, no, it was 16 men, sorry. 16 men. They were going to... Yeah, did they not say we're going to send out 16 of our best men, or was it just our best?
I think it was 16 of our best.
Yeah.
Our best.
Yeah, so we get the votes coming in. I believe originally they were 2-1 up in the yes department.
Yep.
But then you got like a couple of no's. Then like a yes and the rest were no's.
It was 8-3.
Yeah, the final score was 8-3. Ellie's upset. Jesse's looking on sad as he always is. I don't know if that's because he's sad that he betrayed Ellie or he's sad that they never got the yes vote. Don't know what way he voted. Tommy, honestly...
I wouldn't be surprised if he voted no.
Yeah, don't know what way he voted either, to be fair. It was hard to tell. There was no outburst from him. There was no appeal from him. There was no... I just... And, like, what you're right, it's like, why doesn't Tommy just say, alright, we can't send out 16 of our best, but it was my brother, I'm going.
Yeah. But there's not even a scene where he fights it, and and his wife, it's like, oh, you can't do that, and he's like, well, I can, or, something like that. I fucking am baffled, man. The folk comes in, and you're right, there's not even, like, a pan to Tommy's face, where it's almost like he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but then who's the other? Yes, is it his wife? Don't think she fucking voted that way.
I don't think it's really relevant, is it? At the end of the day,
no, it's not. But
the vote was no.
How about right? You know what? We have a cap of 10 people, and you know what? Whoever volunteers can go. But no, it is, as you said during the it's like fucking communism to the max here in this fucking community.
Yeah, so what?
No, but why like all the people at the back say that Seth guy's injured, right? So he's got an excuse. He got shot. What about everybody else? What if it's like 5 guys who are all pals were like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about the vote. We'll get revenge for Joe because he helped build this place. But no, not one fucking person other than Ellie and Dina grew a fucking backbone.
Yeah, so Ellie doesn't really protest it or nothing. Later that night, she's getting ready to leave. Dina then calls and she says, "Oh, where are you going? You're not prepared. You need this, you need that." Dina's brought a map. Dina says that she'll go with her. says that she loved Joel too, which you know, I mean, the way this show's going, I don't really sense anybody loved Joel. So, I mean, I'm not even feeling like Joel was loved by Ellie or Tommy, so it's like, how the fuck...
I know him, he was my brother.
Yeah, that's another thing. When Ellie says to Tommy earlier that if it was you, Joel would be halfway across to Seattle right now. I mean, he'd probably already be in Seattle, wouldn't he? And Tommy said something along the lines of, don't tell me what my brother would not do. I know him, obviously. It's like, well, if you fucking know him and you know what he would do, then why don't you do it? But I don't know, I felt like we had a scene where Tommy was like talking to a psychiatrist. It was almost like Tommy's like, oh, I don't want her to go down the route my brother went down. And
what route would that be?
It's almost like trying to paint the whole episode as, Joel's the villain. But then to my surprise, the psychiatrist turned around and says, nah, I don't think your brother led Ellie down this way. She's on her own path, and that she's a liar. And Tommy says there's a difference between being a liar and lying. And she went, yep, I know, and that one's a liar. So, you know, I thought the psychiatrist was going to basically go, yeah, poor Ellie, she's been moulded and shaped into this horrible person by Joel, but surprisingly didn't go down that route.
I think the start of the episode where, like, no real immediate impact and, like, you know, Tommy finding out straight away also factors into the fault. Because, like, they couldn't have him be fucking distraught with, like, no time skip and, like, want revenge and then in this wee fault thing. It's almost like they purposely just leave all that shit out.
Yeah, also, I mean, who's to say that if they did the fault immediately, it wouldn't be a different... Because, like, the fault could have played it differently if it was done the next day.
Yep. Well, fucking damn right.
But when it's left to 3 months later, like, people's emotions and stuff can change. We had a scene where Tommy said goodbye to dead Joel. He says, you know, tell Sarah I was asking for her, some shit like that. Give my love to Sarah.
Absolute cringe for Tommy, because it's like, oh, I'm sorry, brother, your day. This is heartbreaking. Say hello to my niece for me. Well, how about you get fucking revenge for your niece? How about you get revenge for your brother? No, you just sit in the fucking council, mate, and saw fucking wood and watch Jesse as he hits the sledgehammer into the wood. Honestly, look, how fucking weak is it, right? You've got a community of, like, what, 1,000 strong? There's some fucking big-ass men, and they're sending out the 2 18-year-olds that are built like a fucking matchstick.
Sure, it goes back to the first episode when Jesse turned around and says to these two, these people look up to you, and the camera pans to the others, and you've got this cat person who's... I don't know what fucking gender she falls under.
I believe the 45-year-old
But yeah, but she was like the leader. How can the leader of this group look up... If this leader of this group is looking up to the 2 19-year-olds, then she should not be the fucking leader of this group.
Yeah. I mean,
and then you've got like 2 fucking men in their 40s.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. I really don't.
But anyway, not to go back to episode 1 there.
But you said that in the game, Tommy kills a few of them immediately after, didn't you?
I believe. Well, he gets there before anyone else does.
Was that his fucking master plan? He's going to sneak out the back door. Is he already there?
I mean, maybe. I mean, he could be. He could be, but like in the game, I don't recall him being such a shitebag about it. I haven't played the game. I've seen a few cutscenes, like, but I don't recall.
But see, in this episode, there is not a fucking inkling or a bit of hope or faith that Tommy's going to do that. I wouldn't even be surprised, right, if we don't see back to Jacksonville until the finale.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but yeah, then Ellie and Dina, they go on their journey.
We find these weird guys that are all bald and they've got the chib scars. They're all dead.
Yeah, there was this group that had scars. Don't understand it. They were whistling. I don't know who they were hiding from. And
Tommy, apparently.
And then later on, Dina and Ellie find them, and they're all dead, and Dina throws up. It's like, I just don't understand what the point of these characters was. Who killed them? Dina and Ellie seem to think it was Abby in her group, which I don't think it was, but why would they kill them? I mean, I don't...
Because they killed Joel!
I don't know. Then they're in their tent, and Dina asks Abby to rate their kiss, just more gay, lesbian fucking shite, and... let's be honest, I mean, this show just got derailed because of the gay crap in season 1. Killed it. A 9-episode season, and they decided to ruin the pacing and just dedicate 2 episodes to gay lover.
I know Dina, right, was asking Ellie for her rating, but Dina's rating would be null and void if she opened her eyes during the fucking kiss, like, seeing that in front of her.
Yeah, and then she says she's back with Jesse, and Ellie looks upset at this, so I don't know what's happening there. And then we see that they arrive on the outskirts of Seattle. Dina remarks that there's not many of these wolves about. And Ellie says, well, there's going to be a lot less when we're done with them.
That's badass. You don't need to pretend to be badass. You are badass.
Then we see, I believe it was Manny, and he's on the radio to someone. And then we see like a big tank drive down a street with lots of LWF members, and that's how the episode ends, with LWF marching down. Are they marching for someone? Who knows? Maybe Tommy's already there and they're after Tommy.
Yep, need a tank to deal with Tommy, but I'm not buying it. They do not want Tommy, right? They do not want Tommy to steal the lesbian's thunder, even though she's back with Jesse.
I know. I've seen. I looked at a few comments and stuff after this episode. People believe that he will already be there. I don't, because.
Well, how's he got there?
I mean, I guess he could have knew a quicker way. Maybe not took as many breaks as them. I mean,
but it makes no sense.
Yeah, but you looked at Ellie and Dina. Anytime we've seen them, they're having like a leisurely stroll, even on the horse. I suppose if Tommy gets on a horse and he doesn't stop, and he would get there before them easily. And also, who's to say that he didn't leave before them? You don't know. I mean, I guess
he could have, but honestly, I'd be flabbergasted if he was there.
The way I see it, right, that this show just, every attempt that it has, I mean, every possible chance that it has to make the women or the people of colour or the LGBT characters look stronger, they take it, and every chance they have to make the male characters look weaker, I mean, they take it. Just look at fucking Joel. This is, to me, this is always how I think you can quickly realise that the show is shit. Like, just a quick summary here is, like, when you think of badass, like, video game characters, Joel Miller will fucking be near the top of your list. When you think of badass TV characters, no one for a split second's thinking about Joel Miller, because this Pedro Pascal version is a pussy of a man. Even look at in season 1, barely killed anybody. Barely killed any infected. Barely seen any infected. And then he's a psychiatrist. This is a very, very weak Joel, and I think that we'll see a weaker Tommy than we've seen in the games. Therefore, I don't think we're going to see Tommy in Seattle killing, whipping ass.
No, I agree. I don't think we're going to see Tommy. I don't, like I said.
I think there's a chance that he might go to bring Ellie back or something like that. But in the game, he fucking left. He was the first one to go. He went for revenge. I think that he'll probably end up going. But if I had to guess, it would be he's simply going there to try and bring Ellie back and save her, rather than, I'm the one leading the charge.
Yeah.
I'm the man taking down Abby.
No, it was very fucking shit.
Just like in episode 1 of this season, when Abby turned around to Dina, Ellie turned around to Dina to take on those two clickers, or we could leave it to the men. Well, they don't want to do that, do they?
56 minutes of just a bit of boring fucking boredom, wasn't it? Like, really, at the end of the day, just walking along a path for most of it. The start, I just don't agree with the time skip, man, and. We've got 4 episodes left this season. When is Ellie going to finally get face to face with Abby? What's your prediction? But like you said, I mean, well, they're doing a season 3 and the game's longer, so who knows?
I don't think they can copy it the way the game done it. It doesn't make sense.
In what way?
Well, I believe like the game. So you got the beginning where Joel dies, and then. Basically, from this episode, this would be like Ellie's entire campaign until like the last couple of hours. So, and instead of like going in between, I'm pretty sure the game had you play as like Ellie for 10 hours straight, and then you reach like you reach you reach Abby, and then you get like the showdown, and straight away as soon as you reach her, the game then takes you into Abby's path, and you have to play like another 10 hours just to get back to the same moment that you were at, but from Abby's perspective.
That's brutal.
And people are saying, well, season 2 is going to be Ellie's perspective, and then season 3 will be at. There's not a single chance that works in TV format. It didn't work in a gaming format, and so it's certainly not going to work in TV.
No,
but that would be like season. I know we compared it to The Walking Dead a lot here, but that would be like season 3 of The Walking Dead, literally just being like Rick's group, or even that'd be like the first half of season 3, right, of The Walking Dead is Rick's group, and at the end it shows you them, like maybe meeting the governor outside the gates, and then the second half is like the governor's perspective. That doesn't work. It needs to be intertwined.
No one, right? See how much the ratings are going to go down if they dedicate like 7 episodes of season 3 to Abby. Like honestly, man, the ratings will fucking plummet. No one's going to fucking stay for that. Honestly, they're not, and I just don't understand what's next for this show, man. My interest levels fucking nosedived
Anyway,
after season 1, like so.
I wasn't even interested in season 1.
No, neither was I. But
You know what? I'll be honest. Would I enjoy this show more if I didn't know it existed as a game? I probably would. I probably would think this show's better, but when you played the first game and I mean, this is sloppy seconds at the end of the day.
And this is the second game.
And even though I don't fucking like the second game, and I haven't played it, and I've only seen cutscenes and stuff like that, from what I've seen, the second game looks way better than the second season. So just looks like downgrades all around.
Speaking of grades,
I'll give this episode. I'll give it a 5 down the middle. I mean, it was all right, but it did lack a bit of action. I didn't like the times cuts.
Even Jesse though, big guy. Oh, I can't speak about anything outside the council. It's like, if you can't speak about her wanting revenge for a father figure, then what can you speak about, Jesse?
Jesse, all you have to turn around and say is, I don't know how the other people are voting, but I've got your back.
Aye.
He beats around the we can't discuss votes. No, you don't have to discuss your vote. You could have just said, I've got your back.
No, I don't get. There wasn't even like a pro and cons fucking debate about it. It was just Ellie said her shite speech, right, written on the A4 sheet of paper. Then they wrote their wee answers down, and then they read it out. There wasn't like, right, what's the pros, what's the cons?
Aye, anyway, what are you giving it? I'll give it a 5.
I'll give it a 5 as well, straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle there. It's a 5 out of 10. Till next time. Peace.